Flashback.
Big boys.
Now that you've given us the 27-year run of your picks.
I bet you mine was faster than some.
Time it. Have a little timer when he's talking.
I will, okay.
You should. I would love it.
I will.
Welcome back, everyone. This is NFC North West Coast Edition. I'm not gonna lie, I get a little nervous doing the intro when it's a full house. It feels like there's more pressure on me.
All eyes are on you.
But that's a wrap, folks. The 2026 NFL Draft is in the books. A lot of interesting moves, a lot of great moves, a lot of questionable moves. Obviously, it's all opinion. We'll never know until like 5 years from now, who really pans out.
Yeah.
But super exciting. How's everyone feeling?
Pretty good.
Pretty
all
good
things
about my
considered.
draft.
Pretty good?
We need to give away our first round pick every year.
Bill?
Off the start, not too good, but I think overall it's pretty good.
You're coming around?
Pretty good.
I mean,
Coming around.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about, certain picks. But I will say, initial reaction was like, at some point in the draft, I was like, what is this NFC North team doing? And then now in hindsight, I'm like, you know what? Overall, as a division, we had a pretty good effing draft. Yeah. So kudos to our division. I thought after everything is said and done, we all did pretty good. So
we could be the Jacksonville Jaguars, reaching 100 spots for everyone.
I mean, there's a lot of reaches in this draft,
Yeah,
but this is the thing is like, what do you consider a reach when, if that's your person that you want?
I think, speaking to your tight end run, I think a lot of teams are going to try to run 12 and 13 personnel. So,
Sure. Did you say the tight end run? Because right, Bears picked the first tight end, right?
Yeah.
They did indeed. We could talk about that if you want, or
We'll
I'm
get to it.
gonna do a quick
we'll get
overall overview here. I'm going in order of, I'm going alphabetically today. Okay, so I'm starting with the Bears. So the Bears started day one with 7 picks, also ended with 7 picks. They had 3 trades, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. The Lions started the draft with 9 picks, ending with 7 overall picks, 2 trades during the draft process. The Packers started with 8 picks on day 1, ended with 6 picks with 2 trades as well.
Thank you, Bucks.
And the Vikings, starting with 9 picks, ended with 9 picks. So you caught up from last year when you had 3. So good job there. With
I
3
forgot
trades,
about
though,
that.
Couple trades.
With 3 trades on throughout the process. I'm gonna say on the day, but it's through the 3 days. So trades happened across the board, which I mean we kind of figured. I thought we would stay, but I mean Ryan Poles, okay, doing what he normally does. Let's kind of go around and give our draft grades of each team. And we can start with the Bears. You guys can go, and then I'll tell you mine.
B minus.
B minus.
B minus.
B minus.
I'm gonna say B plus.
My non-biased self is B plus. My biased self is A minus. So, okay. All right. Lions.
B minus.
B minus.
B minus.
You guys are brutal.
In sync.
There's a few players where I thought you guys cribbed it up.
I'm gonna give the Lions probably a B.
Okay.
I gave the Lions a B plus. I guess we're doing the overall grade right now. Let's rewind a little bit because we're just saying letters out here and we're not even kind of evaluating
you're
what
right.
is exactly. So we'll go back to the Bears. Let's rewind. All right. So I gave the Bears biasly an A minus, probably a B plus, and really the only move I did not like in this entire draft was drafting the tight end in round 3. That's the only bump down I gave them. I really liked everybody else. I couldn't be happier because I got my favorite player in the draft.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
Shouldn't have been there. Thanks, Vikings.
So, but I mean,
I feel like your first round was you knocked it out of the park on that. Your team did, at least. But I feel like there were some positions where, okay, here's the philosophies, right? You go best possible player, best player available, or you go for needs. But there were points where both those things were the same player.
Right.
You
Yeah.
guys needed a defensive line, and you guys didn't pick anybody up.
I agree with that. And I mean, I said it last week or whatever, 2 weeks ago, depending on when we were talking about the Bears in the 2-part episode, which this will also be a 2-part episode, everybody. So stay tuned. But our biggest needs to me was D-line, safety, center. I think we got the best safety in the draft, and I think we got the best center in the draft. So that's that. I mean,
Would you say
we
that those
missed on the line, the defense, the edge, and I get that. But I mean,
Would you say that those two were bigger needs than the line, though?
Center, yes.
No. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll give you that. But
honestly, it's hard to really rank them. I think they were all really big needs for us. We don't have a safety opposite of Kobe.
Right.
We lost our huge piece center last year, and I mean, Bradbury is just a temporary fix. So this is, I mean, again, this guy won nation's best center last year. So I mean, the only thing that I can say is, obviously I'm not in the green room, but the only thing I'm thinking is that there was not an edge rusher that really stood out to them when it was their turn to pick, and that's who they wanted. And so I can't. And I mean, even in the later rounds, there were still edge rushers available, but I don't think that on their board it was somebody they really liked, like these guys.
It could have been that they just liked the players that they got more. We've talked about that too.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
But going to it, kind of going to your tight end pick, I think there were solid players who could have been starters, who maybe there's a few that had injury problems that's why they dropped so far in the draft. But talent wise, they're first round talent, and yet you guys picked up the tight end and a blocking tight end.
I mean, what did I say last week or 2 weeks ago?
One of us is going to pick up a tight end.
Wouldn't be surprised.
I would not be surprised if we picked offensive weapons or somebody that Ben Johnson is like, I could use this guy here. And I mean, we're talking about 12 personnel, 13 personnel. We lost Durham Smythe or whatever his name is, who was our primarily blocking tight end.
But in a Ben Johnson system, every tight end's a blocking tight end. Like he does not give anyone the benefit of the doubt. You're gonna go block.
Well, of course, across the board.
And you're also gonna go catch too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we talked about that. Everyone's catching the ball over there.
Yeah. So
offensive lineman touchdowns loading.
Yeah. Do I love the pick? No. Am I surprised? No. So that's the only part where I'm like, yes, we could probably have drafted another position, but I mean, it is what it is, and that's
don't know the board the way that it seems like.
Yeah.
We're looking off of consensus, pro drafters, the Daniel Jeremiahs, the Mel Kipers, whatever it is, versus people that are getting paid millions of dollars to scout these players and make decisions for their organizations. So we as fans may not like it.
The reality is that fans don't really know anything. Like,
of
even
course,
us, we don't know
no.
anything. I mean, think about this. When Patrick Mahomes was drafted, there was a large portion of the Chiefs fandom. They're like, this is why this team will never win a Super Bowl again.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's videos. There's tons of those.
The Josh Allen ones. Come
exactly,
to mind
that one too.
Like, huh? Small school.
So the reality is, we don't know. Like,
of course,
we don't know anything. We just kind of go by. Again, we have to use the consensus more than the coaches do, because we don't have access to the scouting, to the videos, to going to see them play it in college.
Right.
So maybe Ben Johnson has his vision with probably the three best tight ends in one single room, but maybe that's why they went that route. So you're right. I can't really judge it yet.
Yeah. So, I mean, looking at our 7 picks, obviously we already talked about Dillon Thieneman, who I really expect to be, day one starter.
Oh, yeah.
Really like the upside for Logan Jones. Sam Roush, okay, questionable there, but that's like again, it's just in Ben Johnson we trust pick. That's all we can really say about that.
Barbie's here.
Kevin? What have you done? What are you wearing?
Don't question it, just roll with it, tiny baby.
Don't call me baby.
What about mini baby? Like this mini fridge?
No, Ken, this is my dream house. It is my dream house. It's mine!
No, this is no longer Barbie's dream house. This shall henceforth be known as Ken's Mojo Dojo Casa House.
You don't have to say dojo and house.
And Casa.
But you do because it feels good. Try it.
Mojo Dojo.
Casa.
Mojo Dojo Casa House.
Because I remember sitting here last year, we drafted Colston Loveland
Over
at 10
Tyler
over. Oh,
Warren?
like, I mean, like I was not happy. And then
I remember we
man
both
destroyed
talked
the
about
NFC
this
North.
though.
So.
I think that both those, we said it, right? Like
Yeah,
both
both
those
of them.
tight ends are going to be killers. Like they're going to be amazing. It didn't matter which one you pick. We just said one was going to be ready faster and one was going to develop. I think that was true. Loveland by the end of the season looked like he was one of the best tight ends in the league.
Yeah.
But
Warren
Warren
was a
looked like
contributor day
that
one,
from the
yeah.
beginning, but I feel like the ceiling is
ceiling was
higher
lower
with
for-
with
yeah,
Loveland. So
exactly.
that's
Yeah.
the thing.
I mean, Loveland did the golf drive off to send Green Bay off. So
There you go.
Yeah, he does own Green Bay. That's true. Xavion Thomas. I'm just praying this is not another Velus Jones Jr. type situation. So, but I mean, the kid is
Eee.
fast. Yep. But hopefully he can catch a ball.
Right.
He struggled with that.
Yeah. Malik Muhammad, this was an interesting pickup for
Mhm.
me, but I think that a lot of people had him high on that day. And I mean, you could always use cornerback depth, to be honest. I don't know what the Tyreek Stevenson situation is going to be.
Mhm.
So, and then our last two picks, Keyshawn Elliott and Jordan Vandenberg. I don't know. I was kind of listening to the Bears press conferences, and it seemed like Keyshawn Elliott, there's a lot of upside there, but also Hightower really liked him. And so you can always have people on, special teams.
Mhm.
And then this Vandenberg guy just seems kind of beastly. So
Yeah, he was one of the guys that our Lions, a lot of players and fans were saying like, if we didn't get the guy we got in the 7th, like Vandenberg was our 1B that we really wanted.
yeah.
There you go.
So, I mean, overall, like I said, I'm going to give him biasly an A-, but I mean, I think B+ is honestly very fair.
Yeah.
So that's that. All right, let's move on to the Lions now. So you gave him a B-?
I did. I gave
B-.
him a B-.
All right, I gave him a B+. You
B-.
gave him a B-. Dill.
I think I gave him a B.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So this was a very important draft for, as Lions fans know, going into trying to replenish the O-line. We need some edge help, So I thought it was interesting that, you were talking about best player available. The tradition of Brad Holmes was forget positional value. We're going for the best players on our board. So there was the reaches for, Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell in the past. I think this year he kind of changed that strategy a little bit. Obviously, just to what you said, like, I'm not in the war room. I don't see their draft board, but I think that I really liked that in our first 4 picks, we addressed exactly the needs that we needed. But in my opinion, as kind of like a Joe Schmo that doesn't really know as much, I don't think we got the best player in the first 2 rounds that we had a chance to get. Whether that was, obviously first round we went O-lineman, we got ourselves our tackle. Hopefully our next, Taylor Decker, but on the right side for the next 10 years as a starter would be amazing. In Blake Miller, I wanted Monroe Freeling. I had called that on the podcast, and he was available. We didn't pick him. We'll see. Hopefully they know more than I do. This guy's a plug-and-play 54 college career starter, so we'll see what happens.
They gave him a really good elite.
Raw score, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Brad. Like, if you know anything about Brad, every person has to have like above a 9.8 for him to draft him, because like all of our players
Well,
have that.
he's
It's
got.
crazy.
I think he's ranked in the
Like
top
the 7th
20 of all time.
Yeah, it was like 7th overall in like centers in the last
9.9.
something. Yeah, insane.
So
So we'll see.
I think that might have been the differential. Like,
Sure, which makes sense because Freeling needed some time to develop.
Yeah.
This guy, you could just plug him in, and hopefully from day one, he's challenging Larry Borum and hopefully beating him. So but please.
I mean,
It was a safe pick.
I hear what you're saying, yes, but if you look at what the Lions have been able to do the past several years with their linemen, why
Mhm.
not pick the guy with the better upside?
That's where my question was.
And
Yes.
and so they've done a really good job of developing linemen.
Sure.
And so that's where I knocked them. I knocked
Mhm.
them for, because I agreed with you when we did our mock draft. I
Mhm.
thought Monroe Freeling was going to be their pick.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, moving up to get Derek Moore,
Yeah.
I also knocked there because I honestly think that
Zion
Zion
Young,
Young is
yeah.
the better
I
pass
agree with
rusher
this
there.
point. This
So
is why I knocked
yeah,
you guys.
so-
Right. I agree.
so, but I do agree with you on the meeting the positional needs.
Mhm.
I thought that, you guys really, obviously for us, for for me, it was lineman, edge, cornerback, and
Yep.
1, 2, 3. That's
Right.
what you did. Oddly enough, I didn't get to do my mock draft for the Lions, but I really did have that was my mock draft last week.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, very nice.
So I had you guys picking him at 50,
there you go.
but obviously you guys moved up for him. So yeah, I mean that's kind of where I gave the knocks, but I think overall everything else was pretty solid.
Sure. To speak for Derek Moore for 2 seconds, one was, the reasoning, and Brad did talk about it, was the Ravens' new head coach was his former D-line coach or defensive coordinator, Jesse Minter, and Michigan on the championship team with Derek Moore. His D-line coach is now the defensive coordinator for those same Ravens. The Ravens picked 45th. So if Brad and Dan wanted this guy, the presumed kind of thing was they were going to pick him.
Yeah.
And they liked him more than Zion
Hafley
Young.
kind of did that to us,
You
and
also
he picked
have a
up
thing
everyone.
for Michigan rushers. So.
This is the first time since I think it was like 1980 that the Lions have picked 2 Michigan products, which is awesome. So Hutch has, some running mates. So, and then the other thing that I told you actually, before we went on air, a cool kind of little foreshadow was, the Lions hosted the draft in 2024. Michigan had just won the national championship. Derek Moore and our linebacker pick were both on that team. And for the draft, they brought, Michigan's team to the draft.
That
on
was
day
Harbaugh's
one.
last year, right?
That was Harbaugh's last year.
Yeah.
And who's the one that's holding the natty walking to the stage? Derek Moore being introduced to the Lions faithful was kind of cool. That was a 2-year foreshadow for being drafted.
That is cool.
That is cool. So 4th round, another one of the ones where we traded up for Jimmy Rolder. I think this is a direct kind of like hope as a will replacement for Alan Anzalone. Sure, tackler, needs work in coverage.
This was my favorite, one of my favorite picks.
One of the most
guys.
solid guys.
Yeah.
Only 1 year as a starter, but 4-year man at Michigan.
Yeah.
And this guy's, I liked his tape and I like the upside. So Keith Abney, sorry, JC, I know you guys wanted him, and I'm glad that we were able to take him in the 5th. High upside, undersized, sure, but can be a replacement for Amik as a nickel.
He's a steal here.
I think so too. If he can be less handsy, but
no, I get
technique
that,
can work,
but he was projected way earlier than this.
He was. I think it was the size and some of the penalty issues that people were concerned with. So,
but that kind of fits into your team's like culture. Like you are able to mold these types of players. So I'll say what you will about Dan Campbell, but Dan Campbell will be able to get his players to play the way he wants them to.
The pick that I liked least personally, and kind of made sense because the Bills took right before us the safety Kilgore, who is what I wanted when the Lions traded up for Kendrick Law, the slot receiver. That being said, if you guys haven't looked at what this man looks like, it's Deebo Samuel on crack and steroids. This guy's built like a linebacker and fast. Cannot catch a ball outside of like 1 yard in front or behind the line of scrimmage. But as a gadget player and a special teams player, this guy is big. So we'll see what happens. But that's the one pick I thought was almost kind of a luxury pick.
For his size, he has fast speed.
That's
He's
what
like,
I'm saying. Yeah.
What, 4'6", but for his size, like you don't expect that to be.
He's built like a linebacker. It makes it's crazy. And so there's a rumor that he may end up doing a lot more of what Amon-Ra used to do as a running back, like line up in the backfield gadget player.
Gotcha.
So we'll see. But
is he going to pass the ball too?
Well, if he can throw the ball, we'll take it. So we'll help Jared Goff however we can. And then last 2 picks.
Yeah, you need a better quarterback.
Yeah, I like that we took some chances on, they always say preach for the dog. So we took an undersized guy in round 6 and Skylar Gill-Howard. But the kid has a crazy motor on the interior D-line. Obviously, was good for him in college. Will be undersized in the pros, but can potential as a rotational piece maybe. And then Tyree West over, like we said, Vandenberg. And so we'll see what happens. I wish the best for these guys.
Are you surprised you didn't draft a quarterback?
I am. That being said, we actually did, and that's why I did. Thank you for bringing that up. Luke Altmaier was one of our very first UDFAs, like right as soon as the draft ended. The Illinois quarterback, the mobile dual threat. So immediately they grabbed him and they said, hey, you're coming in as our 3rd. So I think that was part of the plan where Taylon Green, the guy that I wanted, the Browns, Jesus Christ, took him. And so I don't know what that QB room's doing now, but I just think that Brad saw that like it wasn't in the cards, I guess, and they really liked Altmaier's tape. So we'll see.
The Browns are just throwing darts at this point and hoping one hits.
Anyone but Shador, please. They don't want to support him. I don't
They
get
need
it.
to let that kid go.
That's what I'm
go
saying.
somewhere else.
But yeah.
That's a black hole of a team right there.
Yeah. So overall, B-. That's where we got to.
I think that the one hit was, that one player you reached a bit. And
It's kind of a low grade, though, when you think about you are questioning one pick and then you're giving your team. Or
well, no,
you
I'm
also
questioning
knocking
3.
them-
Remember, so for me, it was
the
like
first-
Blake Miller, Monroe
okay.
Freeling, Zion Young, trade up for Derek Moore.
So
Who
it
I
averages
still-
to that, I
That's
think.
what I'm saying. To be clear, I like these players. I'm happy with
agree.
our draft. I'm not ecstatic. I'm also a Lions fan. I'm not the
It
pro.
wasn't
I wasn't big on Gibbs or Campbell.
I think
Look what happened.
this was a consensus between all our teams this year. It felt like it wasn't an exciting draft.
Yes.
Which might be the best thing because
Sure.
we're building for depth. We're building to fix certain like things that tight end was an exciting thing that should not have happened.
Yes.
But for the most part, I think that's like
Positions of need, get younger, get rookie contracts.
I don't think that I don't think the draft overall was very exciting.
No,
like
it's not very deep.
there wasn't any like drama like there was in previous
So I don't know the
years.
Rams pick.
And I mean,
Okay,
but
that's it.
that was the most wild thing that happened.
Yeah.
And
that-
typically, you got way more crazier things happening.
typically
so-
that happens like 3 times in the draft.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and also Jerry Jones spiting Mike McCarthy with the trading the pick to the Eagles right as they're going to pick up.
Who the lets a lemon
That
go
that's
to the damn
crazy.
Eagles? He's
Yeah.
fuck
Jerry
That was
Jones.
pretty funny.
That's
He's
who.
one of my favorite players.
I know, Jerry Jones. Your GOAT.
Who was the QB Heisman runner-up that didn't get drafted?
Pavia going to the rookie
Yeah,
tryouts with
his-
the Ravens this weekend.
They're
There
scared
you
of
go.
him because of they think he's like a Shador Sanders, like the attitude type of
Podcasts and all
situation.
that stuff too. Yeah,
But and he's also really small.
he is. He's very undersized.
I think he was saying that he was 6'1" or 6'2". He's like 5'8".
He's-
Hey,
stood
don't
next to
talk
the
about
Heisman
small
people.
QBs, okay?
I was just gonna say,
I would. I mean,
that's a giant compared to some other
That's
QBs
fair.
in this
That's
room.
that's fair. No, but he
Kyler Murray?
was stating
Yeah.
that, and then they actually measured him.
No, he
and-
just stood next to the other Heisman finalists,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Well, something's different here.
Someone's lying. Either you guys
Yeah.
are giants.
You guys are 6'8" at least now, clearly."
But yeah, he. I mean, I wouldn't as a backup. I would take a flyer on him if the Packers
Sure.
we still need a backup.
He's got 4 teams so far that he's gonna be trying out for, unless obviously
Mhm.
the Ravens sign him or down the street.
If he wants to play, I think. I mean, Ravens won't be too bad of a choice, but Lamar Jackson is their guy forever.
More so, just you want to get tape,
Yeah,
get a chance to be a backup.
Nothing
figure it
lasts
out.
forever.
That's true,
basically.
that's
too.
fair. That's fair.
So,
But
That's not true. Derrick Henry lasts forever. Frank Gore forever.
they will have CT forever.
Anyway,
alrighty.
Yeah, no jokes on that.
Here we go to the Green Bay Packers draft grades.
Well, I'll go last.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with a B minus.
Ooh, taking it from me.
Ooh. I actually
okay, it's
gave
not the lowest.
them an A minus.
and I'm right in the middle. I'm splitting the difference. I gave him a B.
I give him an A.
Okay.
I think.
Biasly.
But no,
I gave him an A plus plus.
Unbiasedly, I give him an S. We're S tier.
Okay.
Gutekunst needs to lose his first round pick every year. Because, I mean, if you track all his first round picks, they're dumb sometimes. And don't get me wrong, Rashawn Gary, before the ACL tear, was a beast. And then after that, never was the same. But
King.
Kevin King. You have all these players that were athletic freaks, but always showed a lot of red flags.
Mhm.
This, because we don't have the first round, I feel like we had to compensate for that. And we had to get players that, yeah, were athletic, fit the system, but they were positions of need.
You know what it really was? He got an extra day to prep for day 2.
Oh,
That's what you got to do.
That's the
'cause everyone
cheat.
know- It's 3 hours plus. You're sitting there, you know.
That being
Like, that's
said,
not-
Halfley could go himself.
Oh,
Like, I love him. I still
Oh.
love him. But what the dude? Like, he picked up our players. A lot of the players that I
the
wanted.
Miami Packers, baby.
Oh, kidding me, dude.
Miami Packers.
They are the new GM, head coach,
No
new
team-
quarterback. you know?
No team had like any need for that at that point.
Uh-huh.
They just. Anyways, I'm happy with my picks. We our second round, which we knew we were already like
Yeah,
behind
yeah,
just because of
corner.
that.
Yeah.
But
If you would have picked up a QB, I would have given you an A.
All right, well, walk us through your picks.
all right, so second round pick, 52 overall, which pretty late. We got Brandon Cece, which I have nothing bad to say about this. I think he's developmental to some extent, but man coverage wise, one of the best cornerbacks in the league. Athletic score off the charts. He does have issues with zone coverage, and that could hurt us, especially with your fast gadget guy that you guys just picked up.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
that's going to be interesting to see. I think that you could train and teach that kind of stuff. You can't teach athleticism, and this is an athletic beast.
Yeah, he definitely has all the like physical
Yeah.
attributes for sure.
So I'm very happy with this. I didn't expect us to pick this up. I felt like we were going to shift to offensive line after they picked up Chris Johnson. So
Mhm.
I'm like,
And
okay.
Hood. I also thought that you guys would get Hood if he fell.
Yeah. So I'm happy with this. Like, this is why I give myself an A for that one and for one other player later.
Give myself an A. Were you there?
I was, you know.
They
I was
texted
texting.
before they made the pick.
Is
they
this
said,
okay,
JC,
JC?
are you good?
Hey, I was on Madden trying to do the draft at the same
Yeah.
time, you know.
They were
Any-
simulcasting.
All right, so then we move all the way up to the 77 pick. We got Chris McMillan. I like him. We traded. Well, no,
I think you say move all the
I
way
like
up to
him.
the 77.
No.
It was like 6 spots or
Well,
something.
yeah, but I think they were gonna take him. I think.
No, I know, but I'm just saying you made it seem like
We
you like
jumped
jumped
35
20
spots.
spots. It was
Well,
like 7.
we had a lot of capital later in the rounds, and we traded up 6 rounders, a 7th rounder to get these players.
Yeah,
I think.
I think everybody did that, but
Yeah.
we can talk about the trades.
Yeah.
so.
Sure.
But-
So I like this pickup. It's a position of need. Defensive tackle, we really
Yeah.
needed that.
Yeah.
And I got nothing bad to say about this one. I think this one's
And it's insurance for Hargrave because if
Yeah.
he doesn't fall through, this guy can develop for the first half of the year and
Well,
then step
yeah,
right in.
and
Or
you
it's-
need a big boy for
Yeah.
your new 3-4 defense
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
so
that's
makes sense.
And also, I think it's also telling that we're saying that some of our players might not come back until like deep into
Right.
maybe October,
We should
November.
bring Dom Capers back. Love that.
I will no, hell no. You guys should pick him up too again.
Ah,
Anyways, 4th round. This is my favorite player
that's
in
a
the
good
draft.
one. Yep.
This he shouldn't have fallen this far. And I know Dill's like not every pick could be a steal. This is a steal. This player was mocked to us by many outlets in the first, or not our first pick, the 2nd round. So the fact that we got him in the 4th round is crazy. I don't know why.
Oh, Dennis Sutton. Yep.
Yeah. Dennis Sutton is my favorite player in this whole league.
I'll give you this one. I'll give you this one. I thought it was a steal.
The one steal. We get one steal.
The one.
Everybody gets
And it's not like he's in a small system. He went to Penn State, and he's going against offensive linemen who were drafted in the 1st round. So I don't get why he fell. The Packers got a steal on this one. This is the player I think it's gonna contribute the most to our team. So I'm happy with this one. Then we got Jagger Burden.
Yeah.
Jaeger.
Jaeger Bomb.
On Jaeger bombs.
Jaeger Bomb, yeah.
Yeah.
Center. It's not
I
a
mean,
sexy
from what I
pickup.
saw last year, you need some center depth.
Yeah.
I mean, we let go of our center, so yeah, we do need center depth. I think we all do,
And it's-
basically.
Especially in that second Bears game when your center went out and he tossed the ball 50 yards over Love's head.
I think he's a potential starter, but it's more developmental. I think we're going to shift our whole line. We're going to put Jordan Morgan back into left tackle where he should have been this whole time. I don't know why they thought, let's move him to right guard. Let's move him to center. That's not the position he ever learned how to play. So give the kid, you picked him up in the 1st round. Give the kid a chance. So, I mean, this is just depth. This is so we could start shifting people. Our cornerback, Danny Jackson, in the 6th round. Depth. It's not something that I'm going to be like, this is our guy. This is just depth. Like, it's
I
okay.
mean, I like that. I really like that you
Domani
guys
Jackson.
doubled up on the cornerbacks. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really do. I think that was a smart
Yeah.
move.
It's saying that we're not going to keep,
No, yeah. Shotgun approach.
We're not
see
gonna-
who sticks.
and we're not going to keep
and I think,
Nixon and,
yeah, and in my opinion, it was your
Valentine.
biggest positional need.
Oh, yeah.
So.
oh yeah.
Valentine's your number one. That's
No, when Nixon's your number one, bad.
Fair.
And then the next pick, our last pick, we had to trade up for by getting rid of our 7th round pick, and we got the best kicker in the draft. You never draft a kicker,
right.
but in our situation, we needed to draft a kicker.
No, you guys were fine. You guys had
Yeah,
a great kicker
McManus-
situation. Yeah.
McManus could, he needs to go. The 2
Let's
worst
just hope you
kickers that
don't
we've ever had,
smack
Yeah.
The
the 2
uprights
worst
now.
kickers that we ever had are in our roster right now.
Mhm.
What's his name? McManus and I forgot his name. Alders.
Alders Carson.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
They're both in our system right now. So I'm like,
Mhm.
we need to let both of them go
Right.
and have this kid be. He in the combine, he was kicking 60-yarders.
Oh, I saw there was a
Yeah.
drill where like the coaches were trying to ice him, and then he just drills it right up.
So I think this and our 4th round pick are going to be the most useful picks, and that's pretty much it. I'm happy with this, and I feel like we covered a lot of things that we needed. We don't have a backup quarterback.
No.
So that should be an interesting way to go.
Diego Pavia's out there.
Storyline to look out for sure. All right, let's move to the Vikings. Draft grades. We'll save you for last, Dill. Since we've all been kind of going last for our team. So I will go first, and I gave the Vikings a B.
I doubled that down with another B.
C+.
Ooh.
I feel like
Originally, I thought C, but I actually, after doing research, I went to a B+.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Walk us through your picks.
First round pick, who is definitely kind of one that I didn't like at first, and I think a lot of people didn't like, especially after seeing the US Bank Stadium reaction. I'm going to call him Banksy from now on, just because, Mighty Ducks, Banksy, love it. Caleb Banks, he's going to be more interior, I think, like full inside. It's very hard to kind of judge him.
Yeah, he's kind of a giant man.
He's huge.
He's a giant man. But he was pretty quick, 5:08 on the 40-yard dash, and he had a broken foot. So that's a Viking mentality right there.
No, I mean, I don't think anybody's doubting the athletic ability of this dude. It's the durability.
Right.
And,
yeah, exactly.
For 18th overall, that's some risky biz.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that's why he had decided with the surgery, to be honest, because I think I don't know if they fused it, put a pin in it, what they did, but I think he broke his foot in college his senior year, and it just probably never healed, especially with a big man walking on it. It probably just never healed, and finally he felt that pop. And especially I saw that he was wearing lightweight cleats during practice that weren't very durable. So that would be a good consideration with not taking care of your feet. So as long as he gets taken care of, man, I'm tired of injuries. I'm tired.
Athletic-wise,
of them, bro.
he is a beast.
Yeah.
But there were 4 defensive tackles graded around the same with athleticism without the injury concern, and that's where my grade comes. Because I think if you take him, put a vacuum, I think the Vikings did a great job. Yeah. But that concern in the first round, like we talked about, right? We said the first round is the round where you need a lot more. You
risk
need
aversion.
Yeah, you're essentially looking for a day one starter, right? Yeah. Unless you're obviously drafting high quarterback you want development there. But yeah, I mean, most of the time, and so it is risky for sure. But I mean, if he stays healthy, he's going to be dominant. I have no doubt about that.
He definitely has good ball awareness on like fakes and not.
We
like,
could be
he
talking
can definitely
about
follow
him
that
as
ball.
like one of the top defensive players in the league.
Yeah, 100%.
But just don't get injured now. How about that?
I don't want anyone to get injured. So
round 2 was Banks is a big guy, but I call this our big guy, Jake Golday, and linebacker. He's going to be a run stopper. He's going to be a powerful blitzer. And he's going to work with Flores. Flores is all about blitzing, and he is just going to plow through the line and go for the QB. And I think that's what we're going to mainly use him for: run stopping and blitzing. And I don't know if he's going to, he's a big guy, so laterally going across the field, it's may not be there, but he's going to be there for those. And that was the thing, is we kind of got a good linebacker depth, so I was a little confused on it, but I think he's more going to be that run stopper. Our third pick.
This is my favorite pick of all of your
Dominique
picks.
Orange.
Yeah.
I liked him as well.
The big citrus, man. Yeah. The big citrus.
Yeah, we drafted some big boys. His speed off the first step. He's got a lot of speed and a lot of power.
I wanted this player.
So he's pretty good what I was seeing on some highlights. He's got a good slap to get off the tackle and get to the ball.
Slaps him upside the head.
Just get out of my way, boy. So hopefully, and it's always hard to go off highlights and stuff like that, because they're playing college guys that they're going to work after college if they're not drafted. So it's kind of hard.
Insurance agent, good job.
Yeah, right. It's exactly. But those first 3 picks, I definitely liked them after doing some research and stuff like that. I'm not gonna. You can't be a Vikings fan and get so hell-bent about it just because if we're all hell-bent, you can just say we don't have a Super Bowl, and then you really got us getting all purple. So it's I'm just gonna say welcome to the Vikes. That's about it. We treat everybody with respect, and I like it.
What are you talking about? That's part of being a football fan.
Right.
We just revel in the misery and heartbreak. I mean, what's the point of being a sports fan if you just can't be miserable with your team? We're there for the downs and we're there for the ups. It's part of
You're
being a
allowed to
fan.
have ups.
Okay.
You're right. Our
You
ups
had
is a
3
Minneapolis Miracle beating the Saints.
Hopefully
to
those
go.
are the only
what
3 years.
a wonderful moment, right? See?
It was a great moment.
You know?
That was pretty cool.
There's
I'm not gonna lie.
The thing is that there's always more heartbreak and misery than there is happiness, but we're still here for it.
Only one team
And
gets
that's,
to lift the Lombardi.
We're good at it.
Yep.
We're good at looking at the positives.
Speaking of big boys, though, I feel like it was like a theme with your draft that you had to be like over 300 pounds
Right.
to be drafted by the Vikings this year.
Yeah.
It was
They
like,
don't want
it was
an
like-
inch.
what it was.
They don't want an inch of squeeze
I was
inside
like,
that.
oh my gosh, this is another big dude. Oh, another big dude.
Yeah.
Like, it was just nonstop. For
We're
those
not
first,
letting
like, 4
anybody
rounds.
get
If they
past
didn't
us.
break the scale, they weren't allowed to be on.
To be fair, it makes sense
Right.
in a division where you have a lot
Error.
of running backs that can do a lot. Stopping the run is pretty paramount. in
By
the
week
North.
6, there
Yeah.
won't be any running backs. They're all going to
That's true.
die going against
That's
them.
true.
Yeah, the Vikings had the kind of draft that I thought the Bears were going to have, to be
Fair.
honest. They were
Fair.
very defensive heavy early. I thought the Bears would do that, but I mean, we
We're
have
bringing the
Jets.
Williams wall back. It
All
just
right.
won't be the Williams wall, but we're bringing the wall back.
All right.
All
Like a
right, so
Metal wall.
We are on round 3. This is when we kind of traded a little bit. I kind of called it.
we're
I
going to
didn't
talk
call
about
it to
we're
the
gonna
right.
talk about all the trades.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
Go through your picks
Uh,
first.
Yeah.
So round 3 at the 97th pick, we took Caleb Tiernan.
Caleb.
This pick is great.
He's gonna
like
develop
this
into a
big
good
boy.
pass protector. Yeah, another
Did-
big boy.
Dill, I think this is your steal. I think that
yeah.
he was projected to
I
go
agree.
40, like in the top 40s, or some had him in the 30s. I think this one's crazy that you guys picked him up this late.
To be honest, I think him and the next one was a good steal.
Yeah.
And the next one was Jacoby Thomas from Miami,
Mhm.
safety.
I like
Good safety blitzer. Really, really quick. He's great in short zone defending. He kind of has a problem with letting people get past him and trying to catch up. So if he gets kind of worked on with that, but I kind of think of him as a little hitman. And, maybe Harrison can give him some words, and you never know. To be honest, since we didn't take a safety right away, I have a weird feeling that Hitman's coming back for one more season. That would be so cool.
it. It's definitely interesting
Mentor
for
role.
sure.
Because it's not full set yet, but we'll see.
You guys still need to pick up Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. You and Ayahuasca, man. Round 5, we took our a fullback. We took Max Bredstone.
Bredesen.
Wow.
He also plays tight
Bredesen,
end.
thank you.
Yeah.
Fullback's coming back. We lost CJ Ham, tier, but I think he's going to be a really good blocker, especially for Aaron Jones, who wants, if he could, if Jones can start moving, he can start moving. And then I think Mason's pretty quick, so if he can get Mason running too, get that extra block, I think we're
Can we pause for a second?
yeah, go for
What
it.
did you just say? If if Aaron Jones starts moving, he'll
Then
start
this guy'll
moving.
start
Moving.
Well,
Shouldn't
if he
he be the
starts-
one moving
leading him,
first,
yeah.
and then Aaron
Lead him
Jones
into the
starts
hole.
moving?
What are we
Well,
doing?
like Jones is a bigger guy, so if he can get
If your running
get
back
some
is
good,
in front of your lead blocker,
But-
there's a problem. Your
Mind
play
games.
won't
well, you
work.
know what I
Mind
mean.
games.
Like if
Get
he
'em
can clear
thinking.
the way
Pitch it.
and
That's
get
a-
him moving,
That's a bold strategy, Cotton. That's a
KOC,
bold
that's a
strategy.
bold-
strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
I'm really trying to picture what you're saying, and it's not working in my brain. And I'm a visual. I don't have inner monologue, so this is
Right.
all visual, and it's still not working.
KOC, take notes.
this is-
Dylan's drawing up plays for you right now.
this is
I'm
why
gonna
my
put
inner
the
monologue
Ocho, the
it just
ESPN,
sounds
the
horrible
Ochos.
when it comes out of my mouth.
If Aaron Jones gets moving, he'll get moving.
moving.
Like,
But before that,
But
he's standing still. He is
He's
not
like
moving
he's
a
like a
muscle.
Derrick Henry. If Derrick Henry gets past 5 yards, no one's stopping him.
Okay,
I don't think Aaron
That's a
Jones has
crazy
ever been.
comparison. But all right.
all right.
He's been
sorry.
hurt too many
sorry.
times.
I had.
Um,
I was trying to.
that's okay.
understand.
We paused.
Okay.
You had to get my inner monologue to slow
Yeah.
down. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
All right, move on
But,
to your round 5, 163.
Well, okay. Well, last thing, I think that I think Max is going to be a good protection for JJ too. I think we added some good protection there.
Yeah.
Round 5, 163. We Charles Demings.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, this was my I had no idea. I didn't even know who this guy was when they said the name, and I didn't even know that Stephen F. Austin State wasn't even in college.
That I
know.
saw too, and I was like, I didn't know that either. So
I
must be
literally
a
was
small
like,
school.
Austin State, like Texas Austin, or no, Stephen.
Austin
Who's Stephen
University.
F?
Oh my God.
But I think he's
Let's go
going to be
even
our
more
underdog.
bold. Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve.
He's going to have to prove himself a little bit, just because he's coming from a little bit smaller of a division school.
I mean, most
college.
round 5,
Yeah.
6, and 7 people need to prove
You know,
themselves.
they're all
This
gonna
guy
have to
straight
prove
out of
themselves.
Clemson in the 6th
How
round,
dare
my
he now
man.
be a first day starter? There's no way.
If you're not
I
SEC
mean-
or Big Ten, I don't want you.
Yeah, round 5, Stephen F. Austin State, and then round 6.
I'm putting Steve,
I mean,
Go
that's
ahead.
what it says.
I'm putting
I'm just
Stone
taking what
Cold
it says.
throughout this whole.
Then we had the 198th, and running back, Demond. Demond?
Demond.
Did I just forget a letter? Is it Desmond?
Demond.
You can do it.
Claiborne.
Claiborne. How about that? Claiborne from
Yeah.
Wake Forest. And like you're
Hey.
saying, So I think he's gonna be, that depth action there. He'll prove himself. I think he's really good at
This
turning
guy will
minimal.
prove himself, just so you know.
He'll be Derrick Henry.
The
give
guy
him a minute.
before him will need to prove
Yes,
himself, but
yes.
this guy
Question.
will.
Question: does anybody need
Yeah.
to run in front of him or behind him for him to
Ooh,
get
good
going?
question.
No, I think he's
Oh.
gonna be. I don't think it matters. He's gonna.
Oh.
And Jackie likes this. He's gonna turn minimal gain into an explosive couple more yards.
Ooh.
Very Derrick Henry.
He's gonna be the guy that
Ooh.
gets hit and actually
Ooh.
goes for those
Yak.
2 or 3 more yards.
He's gonna have yak.
He's gonna have yak, and that's what I think. Yeah, Claiborne.
I think that I
The
think
yak man,
he
Claiborne.
kind of plays that Aaron Jones type of role. By the way, like he's not as good as Aaron Jones, but
Well, that's why he's gonna
No,
prove
he's
himself.
better.
Oh, yeah,
he's
So,
better. So.
You know.
I mean,
Aaron Jones needs to run in front of him.
Yes.
Has to.
He's gonna be better if Aaron Jones gets hurt.
all right,
If
and then number 235 overall.
235. We got a center to to be honest, I don't know why we went earlier. Why didn't we go earlier with the center? But I think with this Gavin Gernhardt, Cincinnati, he's definitely going to be. I mean,
Are you sure it's
why
Cincinnati,
don't-
not like Chick-fil-A or something? University.
it could be. To be honest,
it's the
I have no
Bride.
idea.
The Bride
Eddie,
University.
it's the same thing.
Oh, right. The
He
logo.
probably weighs.
yeah.
He probably weighs 300 pounds too. But
I would
he,
hope you're centered.
I don't know. I don't. He for centers, there's a lot to teach and stuff when you get onto a team, no matter what center it is. We'll find out. I know we don't really have a center right now, so it's kind of like, what are we gonna do?
Line Kyler Murray up at center. See what he's got.
Yeah, I think I don't know.
What are we talking about? Max Brenson from Michigan is going to
He's
be your center.
He's gonna hike it and then just full back it all the way. But yeah, big boys, big
all
boys.
right, so let's talk about now that you've given us the 27-year run of your picks.
I bet you mine was faster than some.
I don't know.
And I had more.
Time it.
Okay.
We
Time
were
it.
at 30
Seriously,
minutes
have
when we got to
have
him. He's the longest.
Have a little timer when he's talking.
I will. Okay.
You should. I would love it.
I will.
You gave your team a B, was it?
A C
Oh, a C. So
at first, and then it went up to a B plus.
The
Okay.
bias in him went up to a B.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was gonna ask what made it so low. Because I know a lot of people after day
What
one
made it
were
so
initially
low?
oh
Not-
my god.
Not going for Dillon Thieneman. That's
Okay.
what made it
Yeah.
low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That deserves
agree.
Man,
2 grades off because
I
you
would-
got him
I
instead.
would rather have a player from the first round with my name than the same surgery time that I had. Okay.
Okay, I mean, obviously you wanted Dillon Thieneman. I wanted Dillon Thieneman, but I think it goes beyond that, right? There were several other players with less risk that met your positional needs that you could have taken.
Yeah.
So I understand that of knocking it down some, but I mean, well, I'll talk to you, JC, because you're the one that's still giving him a C. Why so low?
Picking up a center so late in the draft brought that grade completely down, allowing your rival, and yes, I'm going to put it as allowing your rival because he was the best player available of need as well, allowing you guys to pick up the best safety in the league when they needed one too. That's going to knock you down a lot. Those two things in tandem, you're bringing a grade for each one of those completely down.
Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, it's not like the Bears drafted right behind them.
No,
So
of
there were
course,
several
of course.
picks in between.
But
so
just like
it's-
we were hoping, I was hoping that the Bucks wouldn't allow them to get Bane, one of the best players. And this is, I was already scared in the 13th pick. So the Bucks picking him up was like godsend. Well, the Vikings have to think about that too. There's always a chance, and there wasn't many teams from that span to you guys that might need a safety. And there were always.
I think though that's like recipe for disaster.
Of
if you're
course.
drafting
You can't think
people,
about-
if you're drafting
But-
people to not have
but
other
these-
teams, you're drafting your player.
I know,
not
but
to take away
that's
from
why
another
that's
team.
why I give the grade there is they needed two. They needed a safety.
Yeah.
He's the best player in the whole draft at that point. Pick him up. It's
But
a
clearly
no.
on their board, he was.
But in the first
below
round,
Caleb.
you got to be a little bit safer. And they pick up one of the most injury-prone players in this whole draft.
Well, JC, they don't have a GM right now.
No,
so-
yeah, and I mean,
Well,
I mean,
to be honest, I did think our GM did. He did. That's why my grade went up, was because we didn't just pick the best player on the board, even for the position that we kind of needed. We picked players that was not only needed but would go well with our coaching.
okay. I mean,
Blitz, stuff like that.
I definitely am with JC on I knocked you guys because I do think that there were players available that would fit well in your scheme and were positional needs at certain points in the draft, particularly early in the draft. I think, again, we won't pan out, we won't know
5
how,
years from now.
we won't know.
Most picks
Even-
will be a bust.
Even and a lot of people give these grades based on the big board projections.
Right.
But I think over the past several years, that big board projection is just honestly, it's
It's
phasing
TV
out.
fodder. It's
Yeah,
TV fodder.
it's phasing out because
To an extent, though, I feel like I agree 100% in the sense that we're getting past that, but advanced metrics is what allowing teams to at least have less risk in those first 2 rounds.
Yeah, but what I'm saying more so is, of course, you're always going to have rankings. Like, how do you know which players you want above other players? That I'm not saying that is getting phased out. I'm just saying the big board, right? Where they are nationally projecting all of these players from 1 to 200 and whatever.
Yeah.
That is, you can tell that that's not the same as it was 5-10 years ago. And
I'm with you.
and now you could have a player that is on the big board ranked 100 and they're being drafted 50.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying
That's fair.
is I think that portion is being phased out, and I know that's how we kind of evaluate steals, and we're going to continue to do it that way because you're looking at overall projections.
I also
right?
think it's the level of competition, though, because some players that go in the 4th round are from smaller schools, which, again, they could become steals. They could
Amon-Ra St.
become,
Brown.
they could become the best player, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. But the chances are a lot lower because they're going against competition that isn't as high. They're not going against the best offensive linemen in all of college. They're not going against the best defenses in all of college. So when we look at the bigger school systems, that's when we're like, oh, the chances are higher because they have 4 years of the best coaches in college.
Yeah, but again, those who are attending the smaller schools are probably the ones that are rated 100 and something,
Of
right?
course.
And they're getting drafted earlier. So that's what I'm saying is it's it's definitely like subjective, you know,
Oh, yeah.
and how
No one
yeah.
knows. Not even the scouts know 100% that
Right.
anyone's going to pan out.
So if there's one thing, you know, speaking particularly about the Bears, if there's one thing I learned about last year's draft is just trust the process. And I
Yeah.
really do
Yeah.
think with Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles, they're on the same page. They're listening to each other. And, you know, I'm going to knock it down because of what I see, but I really do like,
We don't know.
yeah. And
know.
I mean, like I said, I think it was a good draft. So
I remember FaceTiming him when Jordan. I mean, don't get me wrong. I kind of predicted it. I don't know if you remember that, but I'm like, knowing the Packers, they're gonna pick up a quarterback, and it was kind of a joke. But in the back of my head, we're like, maybe because Aaron Rodgers is playing mind games that he's gonna retire, not retire, blah blah blah, and they pick up a quarterback as Aaron Rodgers just won the MVP, and I was a little upset. And then you sit on it, and you're like, maybe it is the smart move. I don't know. I'm not in the room where Aaron Rodgers is. Turns out Aaron Rodgers became even more insufferable. So, yeah, it might have been the right pick.
I mean, it worked out.
We'll see if our interim GM is going to keep his job by the end of the season.
Have you put your application in yet?
I mean,
Can
at
Stone
least
Cold Steve Austin?
Hired.
Oh.
Can Stone Cold Steve Austin
I'm
put his
hired.
application in?
I am Rob Brzezinski. That's just my stage
Your
name.
ghostwriting? Yeah.
Can you imagine every week?
Oh goodness gracious!
Hey, I was pretty close with my trade, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that in part 2.
Well,
final thoughts though on all of the picks. I'm very disappointed that you guys didn't draft tight ends like the Bears.
Yeah. How dare we? Hey, we picked.
I mean, we did draft a tight end.
UDFA. Yeah, the fullback.
Yeah.
The fullback.
But
No,
I don't know if you
which
want a
is
tight end
hilarious.
that doesn't move until Aaron Jones
Right,
moves.
that's
though.
not
a great
So
strategy.
that's, you know.
he might also be your
He's
center.
our safety blanket, remember?
Ah.
It looks like Aaron Jones is his safety blanket.
It kind of is.
Alrighty. Well, that's going to wrap up part 1 of our draft recap episode. So we will see you guys next week for part 2, where we'll go over all of the trades that happened, and also I have some talking points, and I have some fun facts for you guys. So no fun facts this week, but I'll have 4 for you next week.
Wow.
Kind of. Same theme, but 4 for you next week. So.
Ooh.
All right, everybody. Well, that will do it. And do you guys have any thoughts? Any final words you want to?
Football's back.
Football's back.
I'm going back to my
My
Green
kicker's
Bay
going to
grade,
smack
and
the
it's an
other
F.
2 kickers out of the team.
An FU.
I don't know what
That's
Dill
my
said because you guys were both talking at the same time, but
Oh.
I trust it. All righty. Love you guys. We'll see you next week. Deuces.